Hey guys, welcome to BitBoy Crypto. I am your host, BitBoy. Today we're going to be talking about some news from the SEC. We're going to be talking about how you can buy beer with Bitcoin. We're also going to be talking about some ETF news. And at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you how the market cap could actually double overnight. So check that out. Stay tuned for that. But before we go any further, make sure that you are a subscriber to our channel. As a subscriber, by hitting the subscribe button and the bell for notifications, you are a member of the Bit Squad. And as a member of the Bit Squad, you have the opportunity to win $500 worth of Ethereum and merch for October and November. So make sure that you comment and like on this this video and all of our other videos in October and November to get your maximum number of entries. Okay, guys, we're going to start with a quick look at the market cap. Right now, the market cap is at $212 billion. We have dipped back down below 6,400 for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin dominance is about the same as it was yesterday at 52.3%. Everything pretty much in red today, other than Tether. Hey, if you're a Tether investor, whoa, you might be rich. You might have made a tenth of a penny. So, okay, guys, let's look at the biggest gainers of the day. And as you can see, KuCoin is up, Wax is up, but not much else above 2%. Biggest losers of the day, we have Eternal token, which I have no idea what that is, but it'll be around forever, so I guess I will have time to look into it. Basic Attention token got a big dip after being listed on Coinbase yesterday. I think a lot of people were waiting on that to sell off. If you listened to my video last night, you know, probably XLM is going to do the same thing. I believe it's going to be the next one on. So, you know, once it hits, you may want to get rid of it. Certainly don't FOMO into it. A lot of losers today, but I'm not too worried about the markets. Okay, guys, we got this news coming from the SEC. They actually have fined the founder of Ether Delta. If you don't know Ether Delta, it is a decentralized exchange. So that's what's so interesting here is that even though other people are doing the transactions on a decentralized network, the founder was still fined. Now, he was fined $388,000, which may sound like a lot to you or me, but of course, if you are the founder of a huge exchange, and Ether Delta is pretty big, then there's a good chance that you'll have the money to pay for that and more. The interesting thing here is that the SEC said, let me get his name. His name is Zachary Coburn. Zachary Coburn actually worked with the SEC, was very cooperative, and that's why he got a low six-figure fine. And it's not going to affect his ability to be in the markets, or he's not going to have any limitations. And what we've seen, I think what we will see in the future with this is everybody's all up in arms like, oh, the SEC, the SEC. And yes, the SEC is a very serious organization, and they do want to protect the citizens of the country. However, you know, I think what we're going to see in crypto is very similar to what we see in Wall Street. People are going to get slaps on the wrist. People are going to get fines. People are going to get warnings. But as long as they're not hiding and lying to the SEC, then they'll probably be okay. They'll have to pay their due penalty, but it's not like a lot of people, I believe, are going to go to prison or anything like that because of things they've done, unless, of course, it's really crazy or organized crime or whatever it might be. I think that really what we're going to see is we're just going to see that the SEC realizes that all of this is new territory, and that's kind of what they said in this article here, is that all this is new territory, and we understand that people are going to make mistakes, but we're going to help them fix those mistakes, and there will be penalties, certainly. But I thought this was actually kind of good news because they didn't like throw the book at him like they did Martha Stewart. So, all right, we got this news. A major bar in Malta now accepts crypto. But the only thing is, unfortunately, they will only sell you malted liquor. That was really funny. You guys have to admit that. But here's a picture from a bar where you can buy beer and alcohol with crypto in Malta, which is pretty cool. Malta is really evolving into the center of the crypto world, I believe. Next, we have this story from Funfair. If you watch my top 11 cryptos for 2019, I actually listed Funfair in the video. And I do believe Funfair is going to do pretty well. So here is an article, well, it's a story someone published on Reddit, and it's about a code inside of Funfair that allows them to, I believe, like remint the tokens or steal them back to their wallet. It says Funfair can currently steal your tokens from your wallet, and they can mint infinitely many tokens. This is very similar to what we just saw with Oyster. However, it is important to see this through. This is why I tell people, somebody came up to me during World Crypto Conference, and she said, what's the best way to find crypto news? I said, well, the way I do it is I go to Reddit, and if there's a big story going on and I don't see it immediately in the cryptocurrency subreddit, I'll Google it. But what I also do is I read the comments on the articles, because you get a lot of information and different viewpoints and perspectives by reading it. And so I'm certainly glad I did that, because one of the devs from funfair responded to this and said it's not a bug or a vulnerability, it's an upgrade mechanic. Now, I'm not technical enough to understand the ins and outs of how this actually works with the coding. This is why, if you watched my video on Oyster a couple weeks ago, I talked about we need the dev community to really step up. And so I was going to take what was said here with a grain of salt. However, I kept reading in the comments, and a lot of people have accused this original poster of having his own online casino and having the ulterior motives to kind of make a big deal about this with funfair. But it's just very interesting. I'm going to continue to monitor this. I'm going to see if they put out a more official response to this code. And, my big thing with this is these projects, this is called an upgrade mechanic. But in my opinion, why a lot of these codes exist is because these cryptocurrency projects are trying to protect their own supply. They're trying to protect, like, if someone steals all their tokens, that they can just basically steal all of those back, or they can whatever. But as an investor, we don't have that. Ability to protect ourselves if we get hacked. We can't recall our tokens from a hacked wallet. But however, it seems like a lot of these projects, especially the ERC20s, are putting this code in to do that, and I just don't think that's fair. So I'll have to look more into what this code is about and how it technically is an upgrade mechanic. But I think that the more that projects see this and move away from that line of thinking of having these vulnerabilities, I mean, the fact is, it is a vulnerability. They may say it's not, but if it allows funfair to be able to do that, to be able to recall those, then in my mind, that's a vulnerability to my wallet. So things in crypto change quite drastically. So I think that this is something to keep your eye on. So, okay, last thing I want to talk about are the ETFs. Actually, let me skip ahead to this ETF story. I told you guys that at the end of October, the SEC was supposed to make decisions on those ETFs that they were giving a second look at. And apparently I was wrong about that. There's been a lot of confusing language involving this. So it was supposed to be the end of October, then they moved it to November 5th. But what it actually is November 5th was the last date to make comments, which you can make public comments on the ETF applications and things like that. And because of that, now that November 5th date has passed, now the SEC is going to make a decision, but we don't actually have a date when they're going to make a decision regarding those 9 ETFs that they originally rejected and then said they were going to give a second look at. But last thing I want to talk about is this. This was very interesting. It said VanEck's chief strategist eyes multi-billion-dollar investment in Bitcoin ETF. Now, as I'm not from the financial world, I'm not from Wall Street, I'm just a guy that loves crypto and talk crypto, I'm not exactly sure how these exchange traded funds would affect the overall market cap of cryptocurrency. But this got me thinking, how much would let's just say $5 billion, this says multi-billion dollar investment, let's just say a $5 billion investment in cryptocurrency, what kind of effect could that actually have on the overall market cap? Because one thing a lot of people don't understand, and this is something that I've learned, is that the actual market cap itself is not literal dollars. There isn't literally $212 billion in cryptocurrency right now. A lot of that is involved with leverage trading and margin trading, and it inflates the numbers. So that's why actually investing a few $1 million into crypto could actually make a much larger pump than just that $3 million. So I went back and I found this article. Now, I want you guys to take this with a grain of salt. Don't, this is not truth. Of course, everything I say is not financial advice. But back in February, this guy, Ishtiaq Rahman, ramen, I love ramen. So Mr. Rahman decided he was going to look at the 1 minute chart and to look at a volume spike and figure out how much the market moved based on some Bitcoin trades. And what he found out is very interesting. It says this means that during that 1 minute, $23 million worth of bullish trades, it actually increased the total market value of Bitcoin by over $1 billion. So very, very interesting that $23 million could move the market $1 billion. Now, he did say in this article that it is only based on this 1 minute chart. He doesn't know what it would look like if he did experiments and did data for other charts. But it's very interesting to think because that's actually approximately a 40x, okay? Now, that didn't mean the market went up 40 times. What I mean by that is the market moved 40 times the investment. Now, if someone were to take $5 billion and invest it into the crypto markets, then we could double the market cap overnight based on his calculations and his numbers here. Now, like he said, this is only on the 1 minute chart, but this actually means that it could even be higher than that. We could see, if $5 billion got injected into the market cap, we could see the market move much further than even $200 billion. Now, it could also be less as well, but here's the thing. When we start getting bigger investors, I actually know someone, or I've been contacted about someone. This is not a scam. This is legit. And I know these people involved. Someone's trying to buy over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin right now, and they can't find it. Like, they can't buy the $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, not even over the counter. They're trying to do it. They'll probably have to end up doing it in several different investments instead of one large investment, because that's just the way that the market is working right now. However, this Bitcoin ETF does get approved, then that would be a way that they could invest the full $1 billion. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is possible? Do you guys think that the market cap could double overnight if $5 billion got injected into the crypto economy right now? It's just very interesting to think about. The more I dig into the difference between OTC trading, ETF funds, the overall market cap, it's just so fascinating the way that it's all smoke and mirrors pretty much, guys, right? It's all smoke and mirrors. We got all these over-the-counter trades that are being done that don't show up as volume on the crypto markets because over-the-counter means they're basically trading it offline in a way. The transactions are going through, but they're not going through exchanges, so they're not showing up as volume. So there's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on in crypto right now, but we keep having bullish news, we keep having bullish action, and I feel we are going to start breaking up very soon. I do hope that is the case. Of course, I don't want to go through another bear winter. Hopefully we'll have a bull winter coming up soon. So you guys let me know your thoughts on the markets. What do you think we're about to see? What do you think the markets are going to go to? Would love to hear your thoughts. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Until next time, BitBoy out.